My beloved child, you didn't wake up by chance today. That stirring inside you, the one that keeps nudging you past fear and toward something bigger, isn't confusion. It's a holy awakening I placed deep in your core. I didn't create you just to get by. I called you to rise with the heart of a champion. You've walked through battles no one else noticed, stood in storms that tried to crack your foundation. Yet here you are, breathing, standing, hoping. Even if that hope feels small like a fragile flame, let me breathe on it. Let me turn it into fire. You've been asking for signs, whispering prayers in the dark, wondering if I still see you. I do. I see you more clearly than you see yourself. What I see isn't broken or weak or too late. I see potential roaring under the pain. I see a conqueror rising from ashes, a soul that refused to surrender when life pressed down heavy. You thought it was the end, but I called it a beginning. You thought it was silence, but I was setting the stage. You weren't abandoned, you were refined. Hear me now. This season you're entering will not look like the one you're leaving. This path isn't haunted by old failures or regrets. I've gone ahead of you and cleared the debris. I've made a way where there wasn't one. Doors that shut before will ease open, not because you forced them, but because I'm unlocking them. You will step into places you once only imagined. You will speak with a strength you didn't know you carried, not from perfection, but from a heart that stayed soft. That softness is your strength. There are gifts in you I planted long ago, strengths you haven't touched yet, visions you buried under being practical, callings you shrank because you didn't feel worthy. Now I'm calling them out. Now I'm uncovering what life tried to hide. Faith is rising. Courage is waking. There's a roar moving across your spirit even now. You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be seen to be chosen. You already are. Before anyone noticed your struggle, I crowned your victory. You've already won in places no eye can see, and now the visible world will catch up. I know what tried to break you. I know the whispers that said to give up. I know the lies that shouted louder than truth. But I also know what stands stronger than them all. My word over your life. My promise hasn't expired. My plans haven't shifted. My timing hasn't failed. What I spoke over you still stands. When I say you're more than a conqueror, I'm not tossing encouragement. I'm naming your identity. You weren't born to shrink back. You were born to rise, to lead, to carry something holy in a hurting world. This isn't pretending to be strong. This is remembering who you are in me. You can fall and still be a champion. You can struggle and still carry greatness. You can weep and still walk in authority. You are not the sum of setbacks. You reflect my resilience. Every day you got up and tried again, that was victory. Every time you held on to faith while doubt screamed, that was warfare. Every time you forgave when it hurt, that was power. I've been watching, I've been cheering, and now I'm releasing. Yes, releasing, because some things I held back weren't punishment, they were preparation. The blessing would have crushed you before, now it will lift you. The breakthrough would have distracted you before, now it will align you. I let your roots deepen before bringing more light. And the light is coming. When it shines, it won't expose shame, it will reveal glory. Your story is about to turn. When it does, those who counted you out will watch you bloom, not for revenge, but for redemption. You're not only blessed, you're assigned. Not only favored, you're equipped. You don't need every answer. You don't need a 10-year plan. Just trust me for the next step. I'll light it, I'll guide it, I'll walk it with you. You don't have to figure it all out to start. Just begin. Begin with trembling hands. Begin with tears still drying. Begin without applause. Just begin. That small act of obedience will set off a chain of miracles you didn't see coming. You've prayed, God, if this is you, confirm it. Consider this your confirmation, my hand gently turning your face toward hope again. I know what you've been through. I counted the cost and still called you. The crown you carry isn't gold. It's endurance. Forged in fire, polished by faith. You didn't earn it by being flawless. You received it because you stayed. As heaven moves in your favor and things shift, don't be surprised when pressure lifts, the path clears, and the right people appear. This is the beginning. Yes, challenges will still come, but you won't face them the same. Something in you has changed. A champion is rising. It's time the world sees what I've been building in secret. Steady your heart. You're not stepping into chaos, you're stepping into calling. I'm right here with you. There's already a shift in the atmosphere around you, even if your senses haven't caught it yet. What used to be resistance is becoming release. The tension you've carried, the inner battles you couldn't explain, weren't for nothing. I used every moment, every tear, every doubt like soil to prepare your breakthrough. Nothing has been wasted, not the nights you wept alone, not the days your faith felt heavy. All of it was seed. Now the harvest is forming, not in theory, but in reality. You don't have to chase what's yours. The blessing prepared for you doesn't need performance, it needs belief. You don't have to outwork everyone. You need to outrust fear. The door won't open because you force it, but because I've declared it open. I'm not asking you to strive harder. I'm inviting you to walk stronger, with the kind of strength that knows heaven backs you. You're equipped. The weight you thought would crush you has forged you for glory. I know the labels people tried to stick to your name. I know the version of you some still see. Hear me. None of that defines you. You're not your mistakes. You're not your past. You're not their predictions. You are who I called before the foundation of the world. My idea, my masterpiece. While they measured your failures, I watched your faith. While they judged the surface, I refined your core. The you emerging now won't be familiar. She'll be radiant. There's a glow that comes from walking through fire and still believing. A beauty pain can't erase. That's what I've been shaping in you. You didn't just survive the storm, you worshiped in it. You didn't just endure silence, you leaned in. That's not weakness, that's warrior faith. You may feel ordinary, but heaven sees you as a vessel of divine fire. This season is entrusted to you because I trust what you carry. You're not random, you're strategic. What's about to unfold is greater than what was lost. Stop rehearsing old battles. Stop replaying what they said or what you should have done. That chapter closed, not with shame, but with grace. I'm not holding your past over your head. I'm holding your future in my hand. You asked for direction. Let me lead you through the fog. Even when the path isn't clear, my presence is. You'll know it by the peace that breaks through the noise, the alignment that happens without your effort, the people who leave without warning, and the doors that close without explanation. Don't resist it. I'm pruning. I'm making space for better. You weren't born to live stuck in cycles or to carry burdens that aren't yours. The generational weights, the emotional wounds, the mental loops that try to keep you small, they're breaking. You are not bound by what bound others. You are the breaker. You are the shift. You are the one I raised to walk free and bring freedom. That's why your path felt different and your process felt lonely. It wasn't punishment, it was protection. I set you apart so what's inside you could grow without contamination. Don't mistake my protection for abandonment. I didn't remove people because you were unlovable. They couldn't walk where I'm taking you. I didn't silence certain opportunities to limit you. I reserved better doors that match your destiny. You prayed for clarity. Sometimes clarity comes by subtraction. You asked for strength, it came with weight. You asked for influence, it came with pressure. Every pruning, pause, and delay was preparation. I've built you layer by layer for a release that lasts. Now there's a fire in your belly you can't ignore, a hunger you can't numb. That's me, my spirit stirring. You weren't made to settle. You weren't wired for average. That restlessness isn't rebellion. It's revelation. I'm showing you what you were born for. I'm waking the parts long dormant, your voice, your purpose, your impact. I won't let you drift back to sleep. This is your rise, not from ego, but from purpose. Not to prove yourself to people, but to walk in what I already approved. There's a grace over you others won't understand, and that's okay. You don't need their validation to move in your calling. You need your yes. As you say yes, I'll handle the rest. Provision follows vision. Peace follows obedience. Miracles follow motion. Take the step, small, shaky, it's fine. I'll meet you there. What's ahead will require faith, and it will unlock fulfillment. Not the kind applause gives, but the kind alignment brings. You're not only stepping into blessing, you're stepping into legacy. You're becoming the answer to prayers prayed generations ago, and it starts now. You've walked through days where nothing around you matched what I whispered in your spirit. You saw empty places where you expected abundance. Still, something in you kept believing. That wasn't naive, it was maturity. Heaven-rooted discernment rising in a tested soul. Every time you trusted instead of panicked, waited instead of rushed, blessed instead of cursed, you built spiritual muscle. Your life said, I know who walks with me. I've seen it. I've honored it. Now you'll see the fruit of that loyalty. You asked, was I wrong to believe for more? No. You weren't wrong to expect overflow. Beauty from ashes, wholeness from brokenness, or the reach of my promises over you. You were in the hidden stage, roots growing deep before anything broke the surface. Now those roots can hold what I'm about to grow through you. Others seem to move faster, but what I'm birthing through you isn't quick or shallow. It's legacy. Depth takes time. I've been slow cooking your promise, marinating it in my presence, seasoning it with endurance, covered in holy fire, so it's not just seen, but sustained. I don't do partial victories, I prepare for permanence. Don't let time trick you. Don't let delay redefine my word. It hasn't happened yet, but it's happening. I'm not bound by clocks. I made time, and I step in at perfect moments. What looks late to you is right on time to me. When I move, things accelerate. Years of pain can heal in a moment. Lifelong battles can end in a breath. I move by kingdom principle. Your faith signals heaven that now is welcome here. Stop measuring progress by what others can see. Some of my greatest work in you has been quiet. In your mind, in your speech, in how you love. That inner shift is my spirit. Transformation. What changed inside will show outside. People won't recognize you, not because you're pretending, but because you're purified. The refining burned off what was false and left what's true. The you I'm revealing is strong, wise, kind, and bold. You feared losing yourself in the process. You weren't meant to keep the old you were meant to grow. What's leaving isn't punishment, it's promotion. I remove what hinders so I can release what heals. You've shed old fears, mindsets, attachments. It felt heavy not because I left you, but because I peeled back what didn't fit your next. Grief often comes before growth. Let it flow. Cry if you need. Mourn the endings, but don't cling to what I uprooted. What's coming carries joy beyond understanding. I'm not calling you back to numbing comfort. I'm calling you into bold obedience, into trust that may defy logic but makes history in the spirit. You asked to be used. This is how. I call you out of safe into sacred. I ask for a yes when you don't see the map. I'm not building your life on strategy. I'm building it on surrender. When you yield, you become unstoppable. My power is perfect in surrendered hearts. Don't fear the wrong move. With a yielded heart, I'll reroute you. You're not alone. I walk with you, breathe courage into you, surround you with my presence where you feel unsure. I'm not just opening doors, I'm walking you through them. On the other side isn't chaos. It's clarity. It's provision. It's people who honor what I placed in you. It's opportunities that fit not just your skills, but your calling. You've outgrown what once felt safe, but no longer fed your spirit. That isn't pride, it's promotion. Those whispers in your soul, visions, ideas, the urge to move, create, speak, pivot, are me awakening deep waters. Dreams didn't die, they rested. Now I'm breathing on them. I'm stirring the blueprint I wrote in you before you were born. You're not behind or late. You're exactly where I knew you'd be when I scheduled your emergence. This is activation. Don't hold back. Don't shrink to fit small spaces. Don't dim your light while others adjust. Shine, rise, walk, build, healed, release. You're not stepping into pride. You're stepping into purpose. You're not seeking attention. You're pointing to the one who lifted you. I'll use every part of your story, the good, the messy, the quiet, the loud, to help others. Your scars will become signs. Your wounds will become weapons. Your testimony will unlock chains and people you haven't met. You asked to be used. This is what it looks like. A life surrendered, a heart on fire, a mind renewed, a body strengthened, a spirit aligned with heaven. I didn't choose you because you're perfect. I chose you because you're willing. Willingness is a magnet for miracles. You don't need a platform or permission or the world's version of ready. Keep saying yes, and I'll turn that yes into impact beyond what you can imagine. I know you've been second-guessing yourself, wondering if you're qualified to carry what I've spoken, questioning if your voice matters, if your story counts, if your presence changes anything. Hear this. I made no mistake choosing you. You're not a backup plan or second option. You're not replacing someone who failed. You're my intentional choice, my design, a crafted expression of purpose in a human frame. Nothing about your life is random. You survived what could have taken you out. You kept going without applause. You stood when disappearing felt easier. That kind of resilience isn't learned, it's divine. I planted it, watered it in adversity, trained it in quiet. Now I'm calling it forward. What I'm doing next through you will use the same boldness that carried you through shadows. But this time, you'll move from strength, not survival. You won't just hold ground, you'll take it. The lies that caged your confidence are losing power with every truth I speak. I'm disarming accusations. Too much, not enough. Missed your chance. Too late. Everyone except you. I'm replacing them with identity. Chosen, anointed, equipped, covered, mine. When you walk in that truth, atmospheres shift. You don't need to prove your worth or strive for approval. Your approval is sealed by my spirit, not signed by opinions. The doors meant for you will recognize you by the authority you carry, not the applause you collect. So stop shrinking. Stop apologizing for existing in full color. I didn't give you gifts to hide them. I gave you vision to lead. I gave you discernment to break cycles. I gave you boldness to shake systems. Now is the time to stop holding back. You'll step into spaces that don't know what to do with someone like you. They're used to performance and hierarchy, but you carry presence, fire, conviction. It will disrupt in the best way. Don't water it down. Don't blend in. I didn't send you to echo a room. I sent you to shift it, to bring heaven where it's missing, to speak life where silence smothered hope. I didn't ask you to become like them. I asked you to become like me. You won't always feel strong. That's never been the requirement. I don't ask for perfection. I ask for partnership. Bring your honesty, your humanity, your fear and faith in the same breath. You don't need to clean up to come close. I'm already here, in the mess, the confusion, the tension. Your questions don't scare me. Your doubt doesn't intimidate me. Your weakness doesn't repel me. I meet you there and I show my strength, not above your pain, but inside it. This wasn't punishment, it was preparation. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Delays refined your focus. Detours shaped your heart. When you felt overlooked, I anchored your identity in me, not outcomes. Now you'll walk with a steadiness storms can't shake, rooted deeper than circumstances. People will come to you not only for advice, but for peace, because they'll feel my presence on you. They'll sense a weight of glory, not because you forced it, but because you were forged. I'm raising a people who don't just talk about me, they carry me. You're one of them. You don't need credentials to be used by me, just surrender. You've given me that again and again, even when it cost comfort, connections, control. That's why I trust you with influence. You'll walk into rooms without a title, and still they'll listen, because my favor rests on you. My favor isn't loud, it's undeniable. It surrounds, opens what no one can close, and sustains what human strategy can't. You felt small, like your whisper gets drowned in a world of shouts. Remember, the earth doesn't need more noise. It needs clarity. What I speak through you will cut through chaos. You don't have to be the loudest. You need to be obedient. One yielded word can undo decades of darkness. One act of compassion can interrupt cycles of pain. One moment of faith can unlock healing that changes generations. Don't underestimate the ripple of your yes. You can't see the full impact yet, but eternity can. So walk forward even if your knees shake. Speak life even if your voice trembles. Step even if the ground looks unsteady. I go before you, cover behind you, surround you on every side. You're not walking into the unknown. You're walking into fulfillment, into territory I already claimed for you, into moments written before your first breath. You'll see me in big miracles and in the ordinary. The smile, the quiet prayer, the timing you couldn't plan. Your story isn't a cautionary tale. It's a victory anthem. And you're only getting started. I watched you in hidden places with no applause, where I was your only audience. There, you chose integrity over attention, kindness over revenge, an open heart even when it bled. That matters more than you know. Every unseen act of faithfulness, every unspoken tear, every forgiveness without apology, I've counted it all. None of it wasted. I've stored it, not as memory, but as material, and now I'm building what's next with it. This is why your life carries weight. This is why your words pierce. They're born from what you lived, not what you performed. In the quiet I met you, Not to fix you, but to hold you. Not demanding answers, but being the answer. What's emerging now doesn't echo trends. It speaks with power. It doesn't perform. It embodies. Formed in the furnace of real life, not the spotlight of pretense. What you carry isn't common. It's holy. It can't be bought, twisted, or diluted. I protected it, even from your own ambition. When you wanted to run ahead, I held you steady. When you wanted certain doors, I closed them gently. Not to withhold, but to preserve. Timing matters when the calling is weighty. Early exposure would have cracked what I was healing, but healed and hidden no more. I'm bringing you into visibility, not for fame, but for function, for impact, for legacy. Don't fear the light. You won't lose yourself in it. You won't bend to stay relevant because you already died to that need. What remains is authentic, anchored, bold. Someone with nothing to prove and everything to release. Someone who doesn't just carry revelation, they live it. Humble, refined, relentless, unstoppable in my hands. That's the person the world is aching for. People won't always understand the path I set for you. They'll question choices, doubt direction, dress opinions as wisdom. Don't let it shake you. You don't need consensus to obey me. You don't need applause to stay faithful. What I whisper in the quiet will always outweigh their shouting from a distance. Stay aligned with me and the fruit will speak. Results won't be loud, but they'll be undeniable. Lives changed, hearts healed, divine connections, heaven touching earth through your steps. Even when you're misunderstood, I'll be your defender. I'll speak for you in rooms you haven't entered. I'll turn hearts without your manipulation. I'll vindicate without your retaliation. You are not alone in this assignment. You're backed by heaven's fullness, surrounded by angels, guided by wisdom, not of this world, held by a hand that doesn't tire. So rest, not in shifting circumstances, but in me. Rest, not because the journey is simple, but because I carry the weight. I didn't bring you this far to leave you. I didn't invest this deeply to let it unravel. What I start, I finish. You can trust the process even when it looks different from your expectations. Trust the pauses, the slow unfolding, the roots. I'm not rushed, and you don't have to be. There's power in patience, blessing in the wait, clarity born from stillness. Don't resist the rhythm, let me lead. I know each step, even the ones that feel like stumbles. The favor on your life isn't random, it points to what I placed within you. And remember, favor isn't status, it's stewardship. I've entrusted you with much. Words, creativity, perspective, pain turned to wisdom. All of it is sacred. Use it well. Be courageous. Don't shrink your voice to make others comfortable. Don't edit truth to avoid offense. Speak with grace and boldness. The world doesn't need more noise. It needs steady clarity, deep conviction, and real compassion from someone who's been with me. That's what I'm building in you. Holy resilience, fierce gentleness, a presence that can't be ignored because it isn't built on ego, but on encounter. When people meet you, they'll sense me, not because you're perfect, but because you surrendered. Let me touch your wounds, rewrote your story, traded performance for real life. That's what shifts atmospheres, breaks chains, drives out darkness. When it gets heavy again, when fear knocks, pressure rises, doubt creeps, you won't crumble. You'll remember who you are and who I am. You'll keep going, not in your strength, but in mine. I'm not only your calling, I'm your companion. Not only your provider, I'm your portion. Not only your goal, I'm your guide. I'm walking this with you, step by step. I've prepared a place for you, not just in eternity, but here. A space that fits your gifts, story, heart, and voice. You've tried to fit molds that weren't yours, to meet standards that weren't mine. You shrank to avoid being misunderstood. You dimmed to keep peace that wasn't real. I'm calling you out of false harmony into wholeness, fullness, and honest alignment with who I made you to be. I'm awakening a steady courage in you. Quiet but firm. Courage to show up without applause. Courage to speak while your voice shakes. Courage to believe when evidence lags behind. That's faith now. Not hype, not illusion, but a deep trust that I am doing what I said. That courage moves mountains. It's alive in you, growing with every yes. Don't look left or right to measure your pace. Your road is custom. Your growth won't mirror theirs. That's not failure, it's faithfulness. I take my time where foundations must not crack. That's why some doors stayed shut and some relationships faded. I was removing what couldn't hold what I'm placing in your hands. Mercy often looks like delay. You asked for clarity. I gave it through shifts, losses that refined you, disappointments that recentered you, quiet that made you listen. I wasn't absent, I was strategic. I wasn't punishing, I was preparing. With your heart aligned, motives cleaned, soul quieted, you can hear me clearly again, not through noise or striving, but through peace. This is maturity, faith not addicted to constant confirmation, faith that breathes in mystery, faith that doesn't collapse in the unknown. I've been leading you there, depending on me, not outcomes, living without fear of missing out, confident that nothing meant for you will pass you by. With me, you're not late or behind. You're becoming, equipped in ways you don't see yet. Soon, what's inside will overflow. The platform I'm building isn't about popularity. It's about purpose. You weren't created to entertain crowds, but to transform atmospheres. You weren't called to chase influence, but to carry impact. That's why your steps must be intentional, your words anchored, your choices shaped by eternity, not trends. That's what makes you dangerous to darkness. That's what makes you light where others avoid. You'll enter rooms and the atmosphere will shift. Not because of charisma, but because my presence rests on you. Some conversations will heal hearts without you even knowing. Some moments, your silence will carry more weight than their noise. That's anointing. It's not always dramatic, it's divine. Not always seen, it's sacred. It's what you were born for. You've asked for signs. Sometimes a lack of resistance isn't favor, it's compromise. Sometimes the struggle you face is confirmation. You are a threat to the enemy. Your consistency is a weapon. Your peace is warfare. Your joy in battle confuses hell. You don't always need a sign. You are a sign, a living testimony that I still speak, heal, and deliver. When pressure builds and noise rises, remember, intimacy with me is your lifeline, not a luxury, but the place your strength renews. Return often, not to perform, but to be known. I don't need you to impress me. I already chose you. I don't need perfection. I want your presence. That's where the fire stays lit. Your voice finds clarity. Your heart stays soft in a hard world. You've come too far to retreat. You've healed too deeply to reopen old wounds. You've grown too much for shallow ground. Keep moving, even if the path looks strange and the next step feels risky. I go before you, stand behind you, walk beside you, and live within you. There isn't a moment I left you alone. Not one. When you felt shattered, I held the pieces with tenderness and wove them into something stronger. You are more ready than you think, more equipped than you feel, more powerful than you appear. What's ahead won't break you, it will reveal you. Look at yourself through promise, not fatigue. You survived what was meant to destroy you. You passed through storms many wouldn't. In breakdowns and silence, your heart stayed open enough to believe again. That's not weakness. That's holy resilience. That's the soil where miracles grow. Stop minimizing the strength it took to still be here. This version of you, wiser, quieter, more discerning, is proof I've been refining you from the inside out. Some people are assigned to your voice. They may never say that your words saved them, your story gave hope, your presence brought peace. But I see it. You don't need the crowd to measure your worth. Impact in my kingdom isn't likes or views, it's eternal echoes, ripples that spread because you showed up with love. So even when your influence looks invisible, I'm using you openly in realms you can't yet see. You wonder if you're behind, comparing your journey to others who look more successful or favored. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. I haven't called you to comparison. I've called you to consecration. Your path is different because your calling is different. Where others rushed, I slowed you. Where others were released quickly, I hid you. Not punishment, preparation. What you're meant to carry requires depth, not just exposure. Foundation, not just platform. I don't build hastily, I build wholly. I know soil tilling feels long. I know you get tired when harvest delays. Don't confuse slow growth with no growth. Don't confuse waiting with wasting. Every hidden yes, every quiet surrender, every tear watering your prayers, I've collected them. Not one missed. You are fortified, not forgotten, shaped, not shelved, becoming a dwelling for my glory, and that takes time. I'm forming wisdom that can't be taught, only lived, strength that can't be faked, only forged, love that goes past words because it survived the fire and still believes. That faith moves me, not loud claims, but steady endurance, not perfection, persistence. Worship when answers don't come. Trust when the path hides. Praise for who I am, not only what I do. That's what I'm building in you. Stop apologizing for your process. Stop hiding your transformation to keep others comfortable. Stop shrinking your passion because someone doesn't understand it. I didn't light your fire to tuck it away. I lit it to blaze through darkness. I didn't call you to be popular, I called you to be prophetic. Live so your life points to me, even when misunderstood, even when it costs approval, even when it's lonely. The road of the called isn't crowded, but it's covered, guided, anointed. This week you'll sense something break around you. A lift, a release, a shift, not because the world changed, but because you did. Your awareness deepened, your heart matured, your faith anchored in me, not outcomes. You'll walk and speak differently, carrying a peace that passes understanding. That's authority. Rest, not striving. Confidence, not control. Trust that I am who I say I am. Let go of panic timelines and fear-built expectations. Let go of success definitions born from pressure, not presence. I'm redefining abundance, not something you achieve, but receive. Not something you chase, but something that follows alignment. You don't have to hustle for what I give freely. You don't have to fight for doors I've already unlocked. Walk with me. Stay with me. Trust me when it's slow. Trust me when it looks small. My biggest moves often start in silence. I formed the world in darkness before I said, "Let there be light." In the same way, I've been forming you quietly, fully. What you carry isn't shallow, it's sacred and costly. It's nearly time to reveal, not to prove anything, but to fulfill everything. I finish what I start, and I started something holy in you. See how far you've come. not by trophies, but by the quiet strength inside. The battles that tried to break you built depth. The nights you cried birthed compassion now flowing from your words. The silence you feared became ground where my whispers grew loudest. This isn't just recovery, it's resurrection. Not returning to who you were, but becoming who you were meant to be. You've judged your life by what didn't work or didn't arrive. I see hidden wins, the days you rose when quitting was easier, the moments you loved when bitterness beckoned, the times you forgave without applause. That's where your power grew. That's where your crown was forged. Not in the spotlight, but in surrender. Not in achievement, but alignment. I marked you there. You've asked why it had to be so hard, why delays, detours, disappointments. I don't waste pain, I redeem it. I don't let brokenness humiliate you. I use it to shape you, to form depth that can carry destiny. You weren't punished, you were positioned, refined to hold weight without collapsing. Even now, as you wonder what's next, I'm smiling, not because you have every answer, but because you're still standing, listening, willing. Your obedience draws favor. Breakthroughs are already scheduled. Answers are already on the way, even if you can't see them. I don't bow to time, I command it. When the moment comes, it won't be late, fragile, or halfway. It will be complete, overflowing, undeniable. The blessing I'm preparing won't just meet needs, it will touch the hunger of your heart. It will remind you I know you deeply, that I see what others don't, that I never stopped writing your story. You're not too late. You didn't miss it. You didn't ruin it beyond repair. What I ordain can't be undone by mistakes, detours, or doubts. My grace isn't fragile, it's fierce. It fights for you when you stop fighting, covers you when shame accuses, lifts you when discouragement weighs. You're not defined by your lowest moment. You're defined by my love, which never wavered. When you wandered, I followed. When you hid, I waited. When you ran out of strength, I carried you. Some dreams you buried, I'm about to raise. They felt too big or too delayed. But what's from me can't be erased by time or trial. I don't forget my promises. I don't tease with hope. I fulfill it. What looked dormant wasn't dead. I was preparing better conditions so it blooms with power, not pressure. I'm stirring it again, not to frustrate you, but to wake you. You're closer than you think. This time, it won't slip through your hands. Let go of proving yourself. Let go of the fear of being overlooked. You don't need a spotlight for me to see you. You don't need applause to be anointed. Your worth isn't performance, it's presence. My presence. I'm with you now, in this breath. You're not earning my love, you're learning to rest in it. You aren't climbing to reach me, I came to you. This season isn't only about what you'll receive, it's about who you're becoming. I'm not just bringing blessings, I'm making you a blessing. Your voice will carry healing, your eyes peace, your steps purpose. You'll enter rooms and shift the atmosphere, not because of your name, but mine. You'll carry light into dark places, and people will feel safe without knowing why. That's what happens when someone walks with me. Not just a believer, but a vessel, a living testimony. Don't shrink now. Don't doubt the fire. Don't mute your message or hide your hope. You were born to carry something holy, to speak when others stay quiet, to love when others judge, to believe when others quit. This isn't a pep talk, it's a commissioning. You're not here to blend in, you're here to stand out. Not for pride, but purpose. Not for recognition, but redemption. You are marked, chosen, covered, and nothing can reverse it. What's coming isn't random. It's a meeting of destiny and design. It's right on time and will remind you nothing was wasted, Not the waiting, not the weeping, not the wondering. You misunderstood the silence. It wasn't distance, it was strategy. My quiet isn't neglect, it's work in realms you can't see. In the quiet, foundations are laid, doors are formed, enemies are disarmed. You don't have to feel me to trust I'm moving. I'm God, not a mood. I'm constant, writing victory into every chapter you surrender. That fog that tried to linger, the heaviness that dulled your ability to dream, doesn't belong to you. I'm clearing the air, lifting the weight, restoring vision. This isn't time to settle, it's time to stretch. Stretch your faith, expectations, voice. See bigger, not because of who you are, but because of who I am. I never designed you for survival mode, I made you for overflow. Some things that broke your heart broke open your future. You saw loss, I used it as release. You were stuck in places, drained by ties, wearing old identities. I allowed some endings, not to punish, but to protect. What felt like rejection was redirection. What looked like a closed door shielded you from delay. I see the full story beyond your seeing. When I remove, it's to make room for what fits destiny, not just comfort. You looked at others and wondered why their path seemed smoother. Your story was never meant for comparison. I'm not mass-producing destinies, I'm crafting yours by hand. That's why it took time and felt different. What I'm building with you isn't just for now, it's for generations. I'm planting deep so your roots hold when winds blow. You won't be shaken by popularity, pressure, or opinions. You'll be grounded in truth, identity, purpose. That's legacy. Built by strength, not speed. Release your clock. I'm not watching the calendar, I'm watching your heart. And your heart is becoming ready. You don't have to strive, stay close. Proximity to me does more than productivity ever will. I bless surrender. I breathe on faith-filled obedience, even when it's quiet, small, unseen. That's where my fire falls, on the altar of faithfulness. I see your quiet courage, believing without proof, praying through delay. That kind of faith moves me because it's built on relationship, not results. You're not chasing my hand, you're holding my heart. I will honor it. I'm storing your tears, whispers, and yeses like treasure. When the time comes, and it will, I'll pour out more than you imagined, not just because of what you did, but because of who you trusted. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to chase what I've reserved for you. Your blessing won't pass you by. It won't miss your address. It doesn't require performance. What I ordained has your name, and nothing, not delay, fear, or past mistakes can cross it out. Breathe again. Live again. Believe again. Not because it's easy, but because I'm faithful. I never stopped seeing you. I never stopped choosing you. I never stopped being your father. Even now, I'm stirring hope in your bones, reigniting cooled dreams, restoring vision blurred by disappointment. This isn't the end. It's the rising, the rebuilding. The tools I'm giving you now, peace, wisdom, patience, discernment, aren't just for you. They're for the lives you'll touch, the hearts you'll heal, the generations you'll impact. I'm not only building a future for you, I'm building a future through you. So take another breath, lift your head, set your shoulders, not in pride, in promise. You're stepping into something sacred, not because the path is perfect, but because I'm on it with you. When I walk with you, everything changes. Atmospheres shift, burdens lift, doors open, miracles unfold. You were never alone. You weren't just surviving, you were being shaped for this. Every moment, scar, and silent prayer led here. And now here is holy ground. You've waited in shadows long enough, wondering if your season would change, if I noticed you while others received. I have. I watched you wrestle through nights with no answers and days heavier than words. I was there when you felt invisible. Now I say with holy certainty, this is the appointed time. Not leftovers, what I've prepared for you all along. Feel that stirring? That quiet sense of shift? It's not false hope. It's my spirit confirming what your faith already knew. I'm moving, no longer only behind the scenes, but openly in your favor. What was hidden is being revealed. What was delayed is being released. What was broken is being redeemed. The tension wasn't punishment. It was pressure before release, stretch before surge, stillness before the sound of deliverance. I heard every prayer you whispered. None were lost. Some needed deep roots. Some needed you to grow first. Some were already answered in forms you didn't expect. Trust me, I didn't stop responding. Sometimes my answer is, wait, there's more, and the more will make you grateful you didn't settle. This next part won't replay old disappointments. I'm not recycling your pain, I'm resurrecting your joy. I'm not rehearsing your failures, I'm revealing your strength. You learned to endure, now you'll learn to enjoy. To laugh without worry, to walk without looking over your shoulder, to dream knowing heaven backs you. You lifted your hands in valleys, now you'll run through open doors with a full heart. I want you to feel the shift, not just notice it. You're moving from survival to revival. Dry places are getting rain. Empty places are filling with hope, strength, and direction. I'm not patching what was, I'm building new. You won't walk with the limp of what hurt you, but with the authority of who healed you. The very places you were attacked will become wells of power. Your tears watered the soil of a miracle, and the bloom is near. I haven't just prepared blessings for you, I've prepared you for them. What's coming asks you to see yourself differently. No more slave mindset. You're royalty. No more shrinking under a crown of purpose. You're not weak or forgotten or behind, you're aligned. Every delay was divine, every detour deliberate, every no protection, every wait preparation. You're right on time for heaven's release, so what now? Trust me fully, not with one hand open and one clutching the past. Let go of old stories and fear of disappointment. Dare to expect, believe, and receive without guilt. I'm not blessing you because you perform perfectly. I'm blessing you because I love you relentlessly. I pour out not according to your effort, but my goodness, and my goodness has no limit. Lift your eyes and your heart. The clouds are parting. Light is breaking through. This is a new chapter, and the ink is still fresh. I am still writing, I am still speaking, and what I declare over you is final. Blessed, protected, chosen, healed, guided, unstoppable. You aren't who you were when the storm began. You've grown and deepened. You walk by faith, not only by sight, and I honor that. I surround it with favor and crown it with clarity. As you move forward, leave behind the weight of proving yourself. You've been approved by me. Walk free, walk bold, walk with joy. I go before you and make the way straight. The doors opening now can't be shut. The peace you're stepping into isn't fragile, it's divine. The healing coming won't only touch your body, it will restore your soul. And the joy won't be fleeting, it will become your strength, your sound, your atmosphere. I speak not as a distant deity, but as your Father, the one who sees every detail, hears every sigh, and holds every hope. I'm reminding you who you are and whose you are. This isn't the end or the peak. It's the emergence, the beginning of overflow, the start of miracles stacked upon miracles. Walk forward with open hands. I'm about to fill them in ways eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, hearts haven't imagined. You didn't arrive here by accident. This moment was set for you long before you knew you'd need it. That deep ache, that silent cry, I heard it before you could put it into words. You held on longer than you thought possible. Through unanswered questions, closed doors, sleepless nights. Listen now, louder than doubt and fear. I give strength to the weary, and you will not fall here. You've tried to figure it all out, to trace every step, to ask why things didn't move as you hoped. I've seen the pressure in your chest and the quiet tears behind the brave face. Stop measuring progress by human clocks and outcomes. I've been building something deeper. Resilience that doesn't depend on perfect conditions. Faith that breathes when hope feels far. Trust that grows in silence. What's happening in you isn't defeat, it's transformation. I'm forging a champion. Forces tried to break you. Voices said you wouldn't survive this season. Lies whispered in weakness that it was over. But through it all, I held you. When your hands trembled, I steadied you. When your thoughts raced and your soul sank, I anchored you. You are not as fragile as you feel. You are not as lost as you fear. I planted a fire in you that pain, failure, or delay can't put out. I know you're tired. I'm not asking you to fake strength or deny the weight. Bring everything to me as you are. Let me be your strength when yours runs out. Let me speak peace to the storm inside your chest. I never asked you to carry this by yourself. You weren't designed to make it on your own strength. You were formed to walk with me. And when you walk with me, every weak place becomes a landing spot for my power. There is more ahead than you can see right now. I know it feels like the picture is fading and your heart is tired of dreaming when everything seems to shout against the promise. But I don't work by human logic. I don't need perfect timing or perfect conditions to do what only I can do. I don't need all the pieces in place to begin. I step into the middle of the mess and turn it into a testimony. I move in moments like this, when the only thing left to lean on is me, and that's where breakthrough starts. So lift your eyes, even with tears in them. Let your heart open again, even while it aches. I'm not asking you to be fearless. I'm asking you to trust me while you feel afraid. I'm not asking you to run ahead. I'm asking you to rest in the truth that I'm already standing in your tomorrow. I see the path. I see help on the way. I see the people I'm sending to steady you when you can't steady yourself. This will not end in defeat. You have not come this far to be abandoned. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment is being redeemed. I'm weaving it together into a story that makes sense from eternity's view. I know it hasn't felt fair. I know others seem to arrive faster with fewer scars, but you are not behind. You are being refined. The oil on your life is costly because your calling is weighty. What I'm preparing you to carry needs a foundation that won't crack under pressure. That's what I've been building in the dark, making you unshakable. This is not the end of your story, not even close. You've seen only the edge of what I've prepared. I will give you strength to finish what you started. You will overcome what tried to crush you. You will rise from the ashes of what broke you. I'm not just cheering for you, I'm fighting for you. I am not distant. I am in the middle of the battle, whispering strategy, breathing hope, covering the parts that feel exposed with my protection. You are not alone. Keep walking, even if your steps are slow. Keep showing up, even if your voice trembles. Keep trusting, even if all you feel is a mustard seed of faith. That is more than enough for me. I work with fragments. I multiply what is surrendered. I lift the overlooked and crown them with purpose. You are not forgotten. You are chosen, seen, and loved with a love that will not let go. now or ever. You've wondered if you still have what it takes to continue. Weariness in your bones, the quiet ache in your chest, the gap between you and the dreams you used to carry boldly. All of it made you think something inside you went dormant. Hear me, nothing I planted in you is lost. Nothing is wasted. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. The seeds in your soul are not buried in vain. They're resting, being watered beneath the surface, waiting for my call to rise again. You haven't been forgotten. You've been hidden for protection, not rejected. There are seasons where I draw you into solitude, not to punish you, but to preserve the purity of your purpose. Not everyone can go where I'm taking you. Not everyone will understand what I placed in you. That's okay. I didn't create you to blend in. I called you to blaze a trail. That kind of light doesn't come from crowds or applause. It comes from encounters with me in the wilderness. In the quiet, when you feel overlooked, I'm forming a person who doesn't crumble under pressure but shines when the fire comes. I see the contradictions around you. What I spoke over your life seems to clash with what you see. I said blessing, and you've seen brokenness. I promised peace, and anxiety keeps knocking. Hold this. My word does not return empty. If I declared it, it will be. Even if it takes longer, even if it comes through doors you didn't expect, even if it stretches your faith past the edge, I do not lie. I don't tease you with false hope. If I spoke it, heaven backs it. I know you've tried to reason your way through this season. You've journaled, prayed, replayed moments, wondering where you missed a sign or took a wrong turn. But my will is not fragile. Your confusion doesn't disqualify you. I'm not disappointed in your processing. Even with doubts, you're nearer than you realize. You're still reaching, still asking, and that matters more than you think. Faith isn't the absence of questions. It's choosing to walk when the path is covered in fog. And you are walking well. Release the guilt that says you should be stronger by now. Lay down the comparison that steals your peace. Your path is sacred, even if it looks nothing like anyone else's. I never asked you to perform, only to trust. I didn't demand perfection. I invited surrender. You don't need a plastic smile to prove you're faithful. You don't have to hide your heaviness to be used by me. I see the full picture. I know the weight behind your worship, the cost of your perseverance, and I'm honoring all of it. There is a shift beginning, even if you can't see it yet. Heaven doesn't wait for perfect circumstances to move. While you sleep, I'm aligning people, timing, and opportunity. You don't need to manufacture a breakthrough. I open doors no one can shut. Stay available, stay soft, stay expectant. Posture matters. You don't prepare for rain by doing nothing. You dig ditches. Make room for me. Speak as if the promise is already forming. Live like you believe. I am moving. The things you asked for that didn't come when you thought made you feel denied and your heart wavered. Now I'm showing you why it didn't arrive then. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. What you wanted was only preparation. I'm not just giving what you asked, I'm giving better, what you didn't even know to pray for. Something that blesses you and multiplies through you. I am not done surprising you. Your story will carry weight not because of wins alone, but because of valleys where you still believed. Because you stayed when quitting seemed easier. Because you worshipped with an aching heart. Because you refused bitterness. That kind of faith echoes. It reaches those who think they're alone. It lifts heads. It revives hope. Your struggle is becoming someone else's survival guide. What you're enduring will become proof of my goodness in ways lectures never could. Don't be afraid to start again. Don't be afraid to believe again. I know the last time hurt. I know disappointments left residue and made you cautious. But I'm doing something new. Not a recycled version of an old season, but a fresh move of my spirit. It calls for fresh faith. Let me breathe on your dreams again. Let me remind you why you started. Let me wake the parts of you numbed by delay. You don't need to figure out the how, just give me your yes. When nothing seems to change, when progress is invisible, when prayers echo, don't walk away, lean in. Big shifts often happen underground. Roots grow before fruit appears, and the deeper the root, the greater the harvest. That's what I've been doing, deepening, anchoring, strengthening, because what's coming won't be small, and you won't be shaken when it arrives. I see how you've minimized your need, telling yourself others have it worse, so you should be grateful and quiet. I never asked you to shrink your heart's cry. I never told you to silence your ache in the name of strength. I'm not overwhelmed by your honesty. I delight in your transparency. Come to me raw and real. I already know what you carry, but surrendering it opens the door for me to touch what you've tried to manage alone. You've learned to keep moving while wounded, to serve while bleeding, to be the strong one for everyone while you unraveled inside. You were never meant to do this without replenishment. You were never asked to be everyone's anchor while neglecting your own soul. Let me be your source again. Let me carry what's heavy. You don't have to be everything for everyone. Be still long enough to remember I am everything for you. My love is mighty. Yes, I calm seas and command stars, but it is also gentle. I bind the wounds no one sees. I speak the language of your tears. I notice the sighs no one else hears. Nothing about you is too small. I don't measure value by applause or metrics. I measure by surrender. Your surrendered heart means more to me than 1,000 flawless performances. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are not disqualified. The enemy loves to repeat that you missed your chance, that others are ahead, that you wasted time. But I redeem time. I restore years that were eaten. I open doors no one can shut. I revive dreams others buried. I breathe life into what looks beyond hope. Don't measure your destiny by someone else's timeline. What I'm doing in you is tailored and set apart. Trust the rhythm of your becoming. Trust the season I have you in. It's not punishment, it's preparation. Every delay had purpose. Every no protected you. Every closed door redirected you to something better. You didn't fail, you were refined. In confusion, I was still working. The silence wasn't absence. The waiting wasn't wasted. The detours weren't dead ends. I use everything and write nothing off, including you. You are still usable, still chosen, still deeply loved. I haven't changed my mind about you. You may have given up on yourself, but I haven't. I see what's still possible. I see what others can't. I see who you are becoming. I know what it cost to stay kind when bitterness was easier, to keep showing up when quitting seemed reasonable. I've stored every quiet act of obedience, every hidden seed of faith. None of it is lost. It's producing fruit you can't yet see. Soon what was hidden will become harvest. What was private will become favor. I am not unjust to forget your labor of love. I'm birthing a new boldness in you, not loud or showy, but steady and sure. Courage that doesn't need validation to take a step. Confidence rooted in my presence, not your performance. Your hands won't always shake. I'm settling you, I'm silencing the voices that made you feel small. You weren't made to tiptoe around mountains. You were made to move them. This next season needs less apology and more authority. Not because of who you are, but because of who I am in you. You asked for peace. I'm not only giving peace, I'm becoming your peace. I'm not just calming storms around you, I'm calming the ones within. Anxiety lied to you, said you're unsafe, alone, failing. None of that is true. You are held, seen, and covered. My hand is still on you. Let my truth be louder than fear. Let my promises anchor you when waves rise. You don't have to earn safety. You are secure in me. Stop rehearsing worst-case scenes. Stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. I didn't bring you here to abandon you. I didn't heal you to watch you fall. I didn't restore your mind to see you spiral. You're not on thin ice, you're on solid rock. I don't change my mind like people. I remain faithful, even when you aren't sure. I've got you, and I'm not letting go. There's strength in you that hasn't fully shown yet. Not because you're weak, but because survival mode made thriving feel foreign. I didn't design you just to survive. I made you to live in overflow. And that begins as you let me into the guarded places. I want your joy and your sorrow, your praise and your questions. I don't only sit with you in celebration. I kneel beside you in the dark corners where you hide your disappointments. You don't have to pretend for me to draw near. It's in your unguarded moments that my love rushes in. I'm not repelled by struggle, I'm drawn to it. Like a good father, I run to you with healing. Release the shame that says you should be stronger. Drop the guilt that says you failed me. I am not disappointed in you. I am here and I'm not leaving. I know what you lost. I know who walked away, the dreams that slipped through your fingers, the words you never got to say. I know the silence after goodbyes, the moments you felt invisible, the tears no one saw. I was with you in all of it. I caught every tear like treasure. Nothing you faced is wasted. What felt like an ending was often a seed. I write redemptive stories, and the next chapter will hold beauty you didn't think possible. This is the point where many turn back, when the familiar feels safer than the promise. But you are not most people. You are marked. You're anointed to walk paths others won't. You feel the pull to quit, but there's a fire in your bones that won't let you. That's me. Your breakthrough isn't just about you. There are people on the other side of your obedience, lives tied to your yes, impact waiting to be born through your perseverance. Hold your ground. You're closer than you think. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not mock hidden seasons. The world may not see what is growing in you, but I do. I saw your faithfulness when no one clapped. I saw you serve in silence, sow in tears, believe through heartbreak. It matters deeply. In my kingdom, the unseen is sacred. I honor what's done in secret. I lift what's birthed in obscurity. The promotion coming isn't because of performance but posture. You stayed humble, and now I'm lifting you. There's a battle for your mind. Lies dressed as logic, accusations sounding like your own voice, thoughts that feel true but leave no peace. That's not me. I don't lead with fear or panic. I guide with peace, correct with clarity, restore with kindness. If the voice leaves you more anxious, condemned, or afraid, don't follow it. I don't shame my children into change. I love them into freedom. If it isn't loving, it isn't me. Let me renew your mind. Let me speak a better word over your thoughts. You keep asking for signs, but sometimes the sign is the holy stirring that won't let you settle. That restlessness isn't something to run from. It's something to notice. I'm waking you up, shaking you gently, calling you higher. You weren't made to drift through life on autopilot or cycle through numbness. I'm reviving your wonder. I'm waking the part of you that dreamed boldly, prayed fervently, loved freely. I'm not waiting for you to become someone else before I move through you. I'm not holding back until you hit a standard. I know your history and your flaws, and I still choose you. I don't need perfection, I need permission. Will you let me move through your life as it is, not as you wish it were? Will you stop waiting for the right time and realize now is holy? Today is sacred. This imperfect moment is anointed. You are undisqualified. You are right where I want to begin. I am restoring your voice, the one fear muted, criticism buried, insecurity silenced. I put power in your words for others and for yourself. Speak life again. Speak hope over your home. Declare joy in your atmosphere. Push fear out of your space. You're not only surviving spiritual warfare, you're shifting atmospheres. You're not just resisting darkness, you're releasing light. Don't underestimate what happens when you speak with authority rooted in my spirit. Heaven moves when you believe and speak. And when the weight feels too heavy, remember, you're not carrying it alone. I didn't ask you to perform for me. I invited you to partner with me. Walk with me, not ahead of me. You're not my employee, you're my beloved. I'm walking with you at your pace, my hand over your heart. There are moments when silence feels louder than storms, when prayers seem to echo off the sky. Even then, I am closer than your breath. Silence doesn't mean absence. Stillness doesn't mean inactivity. The unseen realm is more alive than you know. I'm aligning pieces, softening hearts, rerouting plans, positioning resources. I don't rush miracles, I prepare them with care. And when the time is right, my answer won't just touch one need, it will fulfill many. You're not stuck, you're stationed. I positioned you here as preparation, not punishment. Don't confuse delay with denial. Seeds are most active underground. Growth is often quiet. Transformation rarely announces itself. What feels like waiting is deep reordering. I'm anchoring you and healing places words couldn't reach. Type yes if you are ready for the blessings that you are about to receive. And if you believe in Christianity, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. If I gave you everything now without this work, it would collapse under its weight. I'm not only blessing you, I'm building you. You've tried to hold everything together, to be strong for everyone, to carry responsibilities that were never yours. I didn't create you to carry alone. I made you to lean, to rest, to receive. Your value isn't tied to output. You are loved because you are mine. You don't have to earn my affection. You already have it. You don't need to strive for approval. You already carry it. I see the fatigue behind your smile, the way you encourage others while quietly breaking, the times you push forward while asking, who will be there for me? I am. I've always been. Even when you didn't see me, I held you together. Even when you blamed me, I stayed. My love isn't fragile. It leans in, embraces, restores. Don't hide your exhaustion. Lay it down. I can handle it. I can handle you. This week, slow down. Not just your schedule, but your spirit. Notice me in the sunlight on your face, in the quiet between tasks, in the stillness before sleep. I'm not only found in fire and wind, I'm in the whisper, in the breath, in the space where nothing else demands you. Make room for me and I will fill it, not with pressure, but with peace, not with fear, but with presence. I will flood your atmosphere with the certainty that you are not alone. You've walked through storms that tried to steal your voice, your faith, your identity, but look at you. You're still here. That isn't weakness. It's resilience and grace. What tried to bury you didn't know you were a seed. Now the ground is shaking because what I planted in you is breaking through. You are not who you were a year ago or even a month ago. Don't minimize your own healing because it's been quiet. The strength I'm building will outlast coming storms because it isn't built on emotion. It's built on me. You asked me to remove the storm, but sometimes I leave the storm and calm you instead. What matters most isn't the chaos around you. It's the clarity within you. When your soul is anchored in truth, you are unshakable. Hear me again. You are not forgotten, not behind, not less than. Every battle has produced something eternal: patience, compassion, wisdom, authority. These are treasures the world can't give and time can't steal. I'm multiplying the fruit of what you sowed in faith, even when it cost you. Some of the help you've waited for is already on the way and will arrive in unexpected ways. I know how to hide breakthrough in ordinary moments. Stay open, stay soft. Don't close your heart because it was hurt. Don't stop loving because it wasn't returned. Your tenderness is not weakness. Your loyalty is strength. Your tears are seeds, and the harvest is coming, pressed down, shaken together, running over. Not because you demanded it, but because you trusted me. I know what you need before you ask, but I love when you ask. I love your voice, in prayer, in your thoughts, in your questions, in your wonder. I am not far off. I dwell within. I hear even what you can't put into words. I respond not only with lightning, but with alignment, aligning your thoughts with truth, your emotions with peace, your life with purpose. You will look back and see nothing was wasted. And when you wonder if you're doing enough, praying right, hearing me clearly, pause, breathe, return to this. I never asked you to be perfect. I asked you to be present. And you are. That is enough. That is the ground where miracles grow and lives are transformed. From here, I will do more than you can ask or imagine. You've questioned the worth of what you carry, comparing progress and platforms, whispering, "What about me?" I never asked you to mirror anyone. I handcrafted your path. I placed in you gifts and quiet greatness that doesn't need applause to be real. The world overlooks what is quiet, but I honor what is faithful. I magnify what is surrendered. What you've grown in secret, I will reveal in time. You don't need to force doors. My favor opens what no strategy can. Stop worrying if others see you. I see you. Stop worrying about validation. I have already called you approved. I've watched the work of your hands, the purity of your motives, the integrity of your process. I remember those who build in obedience. I reward those who trust me when no one is clapping and all you have is a trembling yes. You're tired of being strong all the time. The pressure to have answers and keep smiling is exhausting. I never asked you to carry that alone. Strength isn't pretending. Strength is honesty, admitting your need for me. I want to walk with you in the questions and the messy middle where clarity hasn't come yet. You don't need to act like you're okay when you're not. I don't shame your fears. I speak peace to them. I don't reject your weakness. I move through it. Every time you almost quit but stayed, I was there. Every time you poured into others while empty, I smiled. Every act of kindness, every choice to forgive instead of retaliate, I've counted them all. You may not feel progress, but heaven sees what the natural can't. Your spirit is expanding. Your character is deepening. Your foundation is strengthening so you can carry the next level without crumbling. This is not punishment, it's preparation. This is the furnace that forges unshakable faith. The lie says what you face proves you missed it or failed or went too far to recover. He's a liar. This isn't a sign of abandonment. It's a stage for my glory. I'm turning what was meant to destroy you into the tool that elevates you. Loss will be redeemed, setbacks repurposed, delays multiplied into greater fruit. I waste nothing. Even missteps become doorways to grace. Even pain becomes a platform to heal others. You don't have to understand to trust me. Your intellect can't grasp all I'm orchestrating behind the veil. Walk by faith, not sight. Faith isn't blind. It is deeply aware that I am constant when circumstances aren't, faithful when results are slow, present and greater than any problem. Let your trust rise again, not from certainty but surrender, not from what you see but from who I am. I've carried you this far. I'm not letting go. You've tried to navigate by strength, but now I invite you into rest. Rest isn't passivity, it's power under my authority. It refuses panic. It chooses to breathe, release outcomes, and believe my word stands even when winds howl. You're not lazy for resting or irresponsible for pausing. You are wise for trusting, strong for waiting, brave for believing again. I will meet you there. I will speak fresh instruction, renew your confidence, and restore your hope like morning restores light. You are not late, not behind, not disqualified. In me, timing isn't accidental. You are exactly where you need to be. I'm never in a rush and never late. When my suddenly comes, you'll see why it took time. You'll see I prepared not just what's coming, but who you needed to be. I care more about your becoming than your achieving, more about wholeness than performance. You thought you were forgotten, but you were hidden, and there's a difference. I hid you to protect what I placed in you, to shield you from noise, now to mature your voice and strengthen your identity. Now the veil lifts. I'm calling you forward, not to perform, but to shine, not to impress, but to impact. Not to compete, but to carry light into places that forgot what light feels like. You've been prepared, anointed, and sent, and you won't go alone. My hand steadies every step. My spirit will nudge when to speak, wait, or move. You won't have to strive to be heard. My favor will go before you. You won't need to manipulate outcomes. My presence will open what must be opened. You were never meant to beg for your calling. You were meant to embody it. Your time is unfolding with clarity, peace, and holy fire. A quiet boldness is rising in you, the kind that refuses to bow to fear. You were tested in silence and endured without applause. I saw every battle in the dark. I saw you get up with a shattered heart, serve while empty, forgive when it cost everything. That is courage. Now I'm breathing fresh fire into your spirit, not to burn you, but to light everything I cultivated in hidden places. You're not the same as last season. The storm didn't destroy you. It stripped what couldn't stay. False identities, counterfeit safety, shallow dependencies. What remains is real. Faith that isn't borrowed, hope that isn't performative, a relationship with me more rooted than ever. This isn't the end of your story. It's the unveiling of your strength and the emergence of your purpose. My hand has been shaping you through pressure. Stop apologizing for how I built you. You're not too much. Your passion isn't a liability. Your empathy isn't weakness. Your vision isn't foolishness. I formed you with intention. I wired you for impact. You were not created to blend in, but to carry my presence where light is needed. There are people attached to your obedience. Hearts healed because you said yes, stories rewritten because you chose the narrow way. Generations shifted because you didn't quit. Don't underestimate the ripple of your yes. You're not just surviving, you're breaking cycles and building new patterns. The fruit won't stop with you. It will overflow to many you may never meet, all because you trusted me in the tension. You don't have to be fearless. Real bravery is moving forward while afraid, trusting me in the unknown with a surrendered heart. Your scars will set others free. Your words will carry power because they come from experience, not theory. That honesty will unlock healing and make others brave again. You asked me to use you. I'm answering. But before I used your voice, I anchored your identity. Before I expanded your reach, I purified motives. Before influence multiplied, I strengthened your heart to carry it. What I build through you isn't about fame, it's about freedom. Not applause, but alignment. Not platforms, but people. Now that your roots are deep, I'm ready to grow your reach wide. For my glory, not yours. Your prayers were not ignored. Your whispers didn't vanish. Every faith-filled word was stored. Every tear watered the soil of promise. Groans too deep for words moved my heart. When I seemed silent, I was listening closely, preparing the answer in layers, arranging timing so that when it comes, it won't just bless, it will transform. You won't just see provision, you'll see overflow. You won't just be comforted, you'll be undone by joy. Release control of the outcome. My plan is better, my vision wider, my wisdom deeper. What you thought you lost was never your anchor. Those who left weren't holding your destiny. What remains is enough. What's ahead is greater. What I'm about to do won't need manipulation, performance, or striving, only trust, surrender, and your continued yes. One breath, one step, one act of faith at a time. As you keep walking, doors will open no one could fabricate. Miracles will arrive without warning. Favor will find you at the right time. I restore what was stolen. I heal what was broken. I lift from ashes, breathe life into dry bones, make rivers in deserts and roads in wilderness. Don't let your past define your future. I've rewritten the ending. I've already prepared the path and provision, and when you arrive, you'll see I set it all in place. I didn't call you because you were qualified. I qualified you because I called you. I chose you not because you had it together, but because your heart was willing, because you loved me more than comfort, because you said yes when others stayed silent. I'm lifting you not to boast, but to build, not to entertain, but to edify, not to flaunt light, but to reflect mine. This isn't about being impressive, it's about being effective. It's not about being praised, it's about being poured out. I will pour through you until the thirsty are refreshed, the lost are found, and the broken are restored. You are not here by accident. Behind the scenes, there has been holy choreography, realignments of purpose and delays that were not denials, but directions. Even confusion served a purpose. The restlessness was a message. You felt the atmosphere shift but couldn't name it. That was me stirring your spirit, reminding you this world is not your limit. The voice inside that says there's more is revelation. It's a glimpse of the life I'm preparing beyond survival and logic into wide open fields of faith. You wondered if you missed your moment or took too many detours. Nothing is lost in me. I redeem pain, failure, and delay. What others call detour, I call preservation. What felt like setback was setup. I've been crafting the right door and developing you so that when my timing meets your maturity, nothing can stop the release. You've outgrown places that once felt like home. That discomfort isn't rebellion, it's growth. The stretching isn't punishment, it's preparation. I enlarged your capacity and sharpened your discernment. You can't shrink to fit what I called you to outgrow. You can't return to what I called you out of. Don't feel guilty for evolving. Sometimes obedience means leaving the familiar for the faithful, the predictable for the prophetic. You crossed a line where comfort cannot compete with calling. You don't belong in small rooms. You were made for spaces where my spirit can move freely through you. I'm restoring your wonder and healing the part that stopped dreaming after disappointment. I'm awakening vision again, not recycled hope, but fresh expectation. Don't be afraid to believe big or pray impossible prayers. The world taught you to settle. I called you to soar. I'm rewriting stories you told yourself in survival. I'm pulling up lies that grew in weary soil, the ones that said you're too late, too broken, too much. No, you are on time. You are chosen. You are ready. What's coming isn't fragile. It won't crumble or slip through your fingers, because this time you'll be grounded with wisdom, led by my spirit, not urgency or fear. And the fruit will last. I'm not giving you something to impress people, but something that carries legacy, weight, and generational shift. Because you didn't quit in the quiet, because you honored me in the waiting, now I'm honoring you in the release. You don't need to force this or compromise who you are. You won't have to hide your truth or dim your light. The favor I'm placing on you doesn't depend on public approval. It comes from a higher court. When I decree, no hand can undo it. What I bless stays blessed. What I open stays open. When I say it's time, nothing can delay it. Stand in your identity. Walk in your calling. Let your posture speak before your words. You don't need to explain the oil on your life. Those meant to see it will, and those who don't were never assigned to you. Stop trying to convince people of what only my spirit reveals. Stop shrinking so others feel comfortable. You weren't called to be tolerated. You were called to carry transformation. And transformation doesn't ask permission. It arrives and changes everything. I'm bringing alignment to your relationships, removing voices that cloud your clarity and surrounding you with people who recognize your anointing and call it higher. This is not a season for shallow connections, but for covenant ones. People who will pray with you, speak truth in love, and see who you are becoming. The isolation you felt wasn't punishment, it was pruning. I made space because what's coming needs a new environment. You'll see clear confirmations, doors swinging wide without pushing, conversations that clarify without striving, encounters that leave no doubt. You'll know it was me, the God who parts seas, calls by name, speaks in fire, and whispers in stillness. I am not distant or indifferent. I am invested in every detail. I'm about to make my nearness known in ways that leave you undone. This week you will feel a shift within. Peace where anxiety lived, clarity where fog lingered, strength where you were drained. Not because circumstances changed yet, but because you did. Your spirit is aligned, your eyes are fixed, your heart is surrendered. You are not waiting for the miracle, you are walking with the miracle worker. Where I walk, atmospheres shift, chains break, hope rises, and you are stepping into the manifestation of what was once a whisper. Things feel different, not because you have every answer, but because you no longer need every answer to believe. You found something sacred in surrender, something steady in the stillness. Faith isn't holding all details, it's trusting the one who holds them. Even when nothing looks like your prayer, I'm still moving exactly as I promised. I've watched you keep showing up without fanfare, faithful when it felt futile, serving unnoticed, praying with a trembling voice. Every moment was seen, every sacrifice recorded, every act of love cherished. Work done in love is never in vain. I, your God, am not unjust. I will repay. I will honor what others overlooked. The seeds you sowed in silence are about to sprout with evidence. You're entering a season where proof will speak louder than explanations. You won't have to justify why you waited, obeyed, or chose the narrow way. The fruit will speak. Peace on your life will testify. Joy from your soul will quiet questions. You were tried in fire, and you're coming out refined. Not broken, but bold. Not wounded, but wise. You won't walk with your head down, wondering if you're behind. You will rise, clothed in confidence only heaven can give. I know some days the battle feels relentless, and the weight of doing right feels heavy. But righteousness is not a burden, it's a blessing. It builds legacy and opens doors no shortcut can. I'm reinforcing your heart for endurance, not to survive in exhaustion, but to live in overflow. You were not made to be spiritually fatigued. You were made to burn with holy passion. I'm fanning the flame. Dreams that felt too big or too far are waking up because I placed them there, and I don't plant what I won't grow. Ask for confirmation and clarity. I will give it, not to feed doubt, but to affirm direction. I love your dependence, not because you're weak, but because you are close. I never tire of your voice or your questions. Each time you call, your hope is alive, and that hope has held you through storms and long nights. Now it's turning into vision. Know this, your steps are ordered, even the ones that look like mistakes or led through shadows. I weave redemption into missteps and lace grace into detours. You cannot ruin what I've ordained when your heart is surrendered, and your heart has been mine. Bruised, yes. Battered, yes. But beating for me, and I call that righteous. Stop replaying what you should have done. Stop punishing yourself for what you didn't know. You're wiser now, stronger now, different than before, and that is worth celebrating, not regretting. A harvest is coming that will silence mocking voices, not to prove your worth to people, but to prove my goodness to you. I love to bless you in ways you didn't see coming, not as payment, but pleasure. I delight in your joy. This next stretch is not about survival or proving yourself. It's about walking free, laughing without heaviness, loving without fear. Live fully, without apology, with courage. Don't compare. What I'm doing in you is custom. Your story is sacred. Your process isn't punishment. It's a doorway to something rare. You trusted me with the unseen, and now I'm trusting you with the visible. I'm placing in your hands what your prayers prepared you for, not just for you to enjoy, but to share. Your life will be a lighthouse. Others will find their way because you didn't quit, because you chose me over ease. You'll see restoration in places you thought were gone, relationships healed, joy rekindled, confidence reignited. You will not end this season with loss, you'll end it with gain. Even what I asked you to release will return in greater form if it belongs. I never take without promising better. Every no carried a better yes. Now you'll walk into those yeses in real, tangible ways. Answers showing up in human form. So lift your head, square your shoulders, step forward like someone who is covered, because you are. There isn't a step you'll take this week that I haven't gone before you. As you move, keep your heart tender, your hands open, your spirit expectant. I'm not finished, I'm just beginning. You've come this far, not by chance, but by my preservation. Unseen battles won, quiet tears I collected, choices to stand when flight felt easier. While you asked for answers, I shielded you from attacks you never saw. While you waited for open doors, I locked doors that would have harmed you. My goodness was at work not only in what I gave, but in what I withheld. Remember this. I finish what I start, and I've only begun. You're entering a stretch marked by reversals and returns. Honor where shame stood, laughter where sorrow lived, visibility where you felt invisible. But this isn't about status, it's about assignment. I've trusted you with influence for purpose. The story I'm writing through your life will heal others. The wounds you survived will become rivers of wisdom. What you learned in secret will become oil that anoints others for breakthrough. I saw when you laid down dreams because I asked. I have not forgotten a single offering or tear of obedience. That kind of sacrifice touches me deeply, and now I'm honoring it publicly. Not to feed pride, but to widen purpose. I could trust you in the hidden place, and I can trust you on the mountain. Surprises are near, sudden shifts, holy alignments, things you tried to make happen before that will now flow without force. You won't need to convince anyone. I will move hearts and turn the tide. Stay surrendered. Stay close. Don't sprint just because you feel momentum. Let me pace you. My timing is exact, perfect, personal. Do not fear the weight of what's next. You're not stepping into it alone. I'm beside you, step by step and breath by breath, strengthening your spine, wrapping peace around your thoughts, anchoring joy deep within. You will not collapse under pressure. You will not break when it gets big. You've been fortified for this. The larger the blessing, the deeper the foundation, and yours was carved in fire and tested in storms. This isn't just a good season. It's a God season, my fingerprints on everything. You'll enter rooms and feel the atmosphere shift because my spirit is on you. You'll speak and chains will break. Not from eloquence, but anointing. Doors will open simply because your presence carries obedience. That's what favor looks like. Holy, not flashy, and it's resting on you. Your heart is safe with me. Your hopes are safe with me. Your future isn't fragile in my hands. I hold it with strength and tenderness, with wisdom and compassion. Stop bracing for disappointment and waiting for things to fall apart. This is not a setup for loss, it's a setup for glory. I know you've lived seasons where things fell apart when they finally felt right. This is not that season. I'm not teasing you with glimpses. I'm inviting you into fullness. Rest now, not in laziness, but in confidence. Rest knowing you don't need to perform to earn what I promised. Rest because the war inside you was won at the cross. Rest because this chapter will be written with surrender, not striving. You will dream again, build again, rise again, and this time it will be steady, sealed by my hand. No more fear, no more bargaining, no more rehearsing what went wrong. Eyes forward, heart open, spirit aligned. I'm pouring out what has been stored for this moment. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are chosen, covered, and wildly, endlessly loved. Amen. If these words stirred your soul, if you sensed my breath in every line, don't keep it to yourself. There are hearts waiting to know I still speak, still move, and still choose the ones the world forgot. Share this. Let it spark light in someone's night. And if you want to walk closer with me, if you long for more moments like this, stay near. Keep listening. I'm not finished. I'm just beginning to show you how much more I've prepared. Stay with me. There is more to come. There is always more in me. Amen.